Today, I want to talk about alexithymia, which is a neurological condition that I and up to half of autistic people and several non-autistic people too have. It's a condition which is so common in autistic people that old research used to confuse it with autism itself. This is a condition that is known as alexithymia, and alexithymia is not the inability to have emotions. It's not having emotions. That's not alexithymia. Alexithymia is having emotions, experiencing emotions, sometimes very strong and very big emotions, but then again at the same time having difficulty recognizing and identifying said emotions. Alexithymia, unlike autism, does range on a line from mild to severe, if I understand it correctly. And it seems to be more so of a neurological condition rather than a complete neurotype, although alexithymia impacts every single aspect of a person's life. Recently, I've taken a great amount of interest into the notion of alexithymia, considering that I've never really gotten the understanding of it enough to explore that aspect of my identity. I've been exploring my autistic identity and even to a certain extent my ADHD and synesthetic identity a lot recently. But alexithymia, I never really understood it in complete terms, in terms of, how I experience emotion. I do know for me that as a child, I would wonder, why can I not completely experience just one emotion monotropically? Why do I experience a weird meld of emotions? Why does everything seem bittersweet to me? And I actually didn't really have the ability to identify distinct emotions until I actually worked with a therapist. That was around when I was 16 years old or so. And even then, I would never exclusively identify one emotion. I would always identify a multitude of emotions. So as Trevor Bird, who's a non-speaking activist, would say, alexithymia is a emotional soup. It's this mixture, this kaleidoscopic chaos of emotions, which at times can become this intense whirlwind, but at times can be rather placid, calm, or flat. And this is part of the reason why autistic people are known for not producing facial expressions in a way that is socially expected, or understanding other people's facial expressions as they correspond to emotion. And I'd say there are negatives to alexithymia, no doubt. It's harder for me to identify my emotions. It makes me prone to anxiety, prone to depression, both of which I've experienced quite a bit throughout my life. And it's hard to explain to people what I'm going through or what I'm feeling. And I think this partly is why I wasn't exactly clear on why I didn't like being touched throughout so much of my life. And I believe it to be the case that if I had been more, in touch with my emotions, maybe it would have been easier for me to explain different things I was going through to people. But at the same time, alexithymia brings a new and unique perspective on the world. Alexithymia brings a new, unique perspective in the sense that we don't all experience one discrete emotion at a time in response to a given stimulus. It's always a mixture of emotions, which is hard to identify. And it leaves me, and it leaves other alexithymic people, with logic as the exclusive way to reliably understand the world. You see, I can't understand the world through simply looking at people's faces, body language, and, emotional reciprocity. For me, that's simply not how I work, and so I don't understand from a first-hand perspective why other people or how other people work like that. For me, I need to understand a logical motive behind an emotional response. I need to logical eyes other people's actions and my own actions. And I find myself having to, almost in a therapeutic sort of way, explain to myself using words, not emotions, about why I feel a certain way and what exactly led me up to a certain point. And so yeah, that is in a sort of way that can be disabling, and it can make me, socially awkward or socially inept. But in another sense, it makes me a more logical person. It makes me someone who's logically keeping the world in check, keeping myself and keeping the society in check and on track. If I want to use the neuroforestry model, talking about how we each have a role to play in society on account of our neurotype. So it's fascinating to have alexithymia. And I would also like to add that for me, I have a combination of both synesthesia and alexithymia, which means that, among other things, I experience emotions as colors. For me, emotions are colors. Feelings are colors. I internally feel a certain color on the inside, and that's my emotion. And that's actually part of the reason why I didn't understand why people equated blue with sadness. If I feel blue, that means I'm quite happy, in fact. If I feel yellow, like light yellow, sunshine yellow, I feel like I'm at peace. I feel very calm. But I also may feel a tinge of a deep burgundy underneath that yellow, which corresponds to pain, suffering, sorrow. So it's very interesting to experience alexithymia, and I would very much love to explore my alexithymia and how it has impacted not only my life history, but how I can use it to inform my art and my exploration of autistic and neurodivergent identities going forward in the future. Thanks for watching.